Good morning, Pittsburgh. Thank you for tuning in to Daybreak's spooky Halloween special. I'm Taylor Spirito, your favorite lion.
And I'm Nick Tomarello, Jack-O-Lantern. On today's episode, Taylor and I will be playing a frightening fall game with some special guests.
And of course, along with city and campus news, our reporters will catch you up to speed on everything you need to know in sports, national, entertainment, and some tech news. Wake up and eat some treats, Pittsburgh, because Daybreak starts right now.
Start your mornings with us, only on Daybreak.
Welcome back to Daybreak, everyone. This past week has been extremely wet and rainy.
Yeah, it's been awful. My umbrella broke this past weekend, so I'm not digging this rain literally at all. It's just not fun, and it's been downpouring, especially today.
Yes, I actually lost my umbrella and had to buy one at the bookstore on campus today. I don't even want to say how much it was, $20.
You could get one at CVS for like $5.
I don't even, but it works. That's all that I need.
That's all that matters. But you know what? Hopefully it starts to clear up a little bit.
Hopefully.
Bree, what do you have for us over at weather?
So the weather is only getting chillier outside. I know the rain is gone, but you might want to take a jacket wherever you go or whatever plans you have for this Halloween weekend. So starting with Friday, we have some clouds throughout the day, but we're starting with a high of 45, and then in the evening, we're dropping to a low of 29 degrees. I know October is over, but that means winter is here. Moving out until the weekend, we have clouds again on Saturday and Sunday, and a 50 degrees starting throughout the day, and then we're dropping back to the 30s. And the same on Sunday, we're seeing some sunshine, but we're back to 30 degrees throughout the night. That's all I have for weather this week. Back to you, our lion and jack-o'-lantern at the couch.
Thanks, Bree. We're getting into below freezing temperatures this weekend.
29.
Is winter finally here? Watch. Next week, it'll be fall weather in the mid-60s. That's how it is.
I was going to say, watch it be 70s, too. Like, that's just not... I mean, I love hot weather. We've talked about this before. But I am ready for that cooler temperatures. I do love my sweaters. I do love my turtlenecks. But no more rain. Please, no more rain. I'm really over the rain.
Let's just get into those snowflakes and some chilly weather.
So I can watch it from inside.
Here's your campus news.
Just over a year since 11 lives were taken at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Squirrel Hill, memorials have decorated the city of Pittsburgh. Point Park had its own memorial on the second floor of Lawrence Hall, complete with a Jewish prayer in English and Hebrew, the names and faces of the 11 victims, in a drop box for letters of prayer and of hope. Community coordinator of Spiritual Life, Jennifer McCurry, said that, quote, "The power is in putting our grief or hopes into words in response to our remembering, end quote. McCurry also said that while she's unsure of what will be happening to the letters, she would consider using them in something like an art project if the letters aren't too confidential or private.
The shuttles to the Strip District that run through the schools are canceled for this week. Point Park's weekly Social Scoop email cites that it's because of road closures along the route. The Strip District shuttles normally run every Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. until the last one leaves the Student Center parking lot at 1:30 p.m. For students still looking to go to the Strip District this weekend, it's only a 25-minute walk to the normal shuttle stop at Woolies Food Market.
Point Park's Director of Human Resource Management Program and Associate Professor Sandra Mervosh was nominated as a Michael R. Toney Volunteer of the Year nominee by the Pittsburgh Human Resources Association. According to Point Park's website, Mervosh has served as president, CEO, and owner of Venture Graphics, a project management company specializing in the printing industry. She also worked as chief Chief Operating Officer, Vice President of Production, Estimator and Customer Service Manager, and a Production Manager. In 2015, Mervosh founded the networking organization Pittsburgh Women Succeeding Together. Nominees were selected out of the volunteers that are highly involved within PHRA, and Executive Director of PHRA, Liz Lamping, said that Mervosh is, quote, a driving force behind our college, and student outreach, end quote. So, Nick, did you see the Tree of Life memorial that Point Park had set up in Lawrence Hall?
I did. I remember actually going up the stairs by the cafe and seeing it. I honestly thought it was going to be a little bit bigger.
I did too. When they said the second floor of Lawrence Hall, I was picturing that lounge area because
Right.
I've seen people set up stuff there, like poster boards and stuff like that. And that's what the memorial was. It was a poster board with that drop box. So I was also expecting it to be a little bit bigger, but I am glad that they had something and that,
Right.
I really liked that drop box idea. I thought that was a really good idea.
And one other thing, I actually did get to go to the synagogue on Sunday, and I talked with the co-president of the New Light congregation, and he said, the whole reason why they wanted to have a ceremony at a different location other than the synagogue was because they didn't want to celebrate that anniversary per se at that location, and they wanted to honor the lives lost, the family members at that event that they had on Sunday night.
Yeah, so I think it's really good that, Pittsburgh in general has had so many memorial services. Like, it really shows the community coming together.
Right.
But don't go anywhere, because after the break, the Pittsburgh sports world was in for a treat this weekend. We've got a treat of our own to tell you all about it.
And Pittsburgh is home to the steepest hill in the country, and some brave souls biked it up. We have that story and more coming up.
Go to our new website, uview.pointpark.edu.
Go, 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 go!
Join UView and find your herd.
Be like,
Join EOP.
and 3, 2, join EOP!
I was just saying, grab them now, or else I can listen.
Yeah.
Join on point with politics.
3, 2, 1.
Join Pioneer Sideline.
Loneliest number that you'll ever do.
Welcome back to Daybreak. I'm your favorite Halloween snack with the latest in Pittsburgh sports news. Coming off a bye week, the Pittsburgh Steelers scored 27 unanswered points to beat the Miami Dolphins 27-14 in the Monday Night Football matchup. Second-string quarterback Mason Rudolph returned to the field this week after missing Pittsburgh's Week 6 win over the Chargers. Rudolph and the Steelers' defense looked a little rusty coming back during the first quarter, giving up turnovers, 2 touchdowns, and collecting some penalties. But Pittsburgh started to bounce back from the 14-0 deficit in the second quarter with a 42-yard field goal and a 45-yard touchdown pass to Deontay Johnson. The Steelers controlled the second half, scoring 2 more touchdowns from Juju Smith-Schuster and James Conner, as well as another field goal. Now 3-4, the Steelers will play the 5-2 Colts at Heinz Field this Sunday. The Black and Gold were also successful on the ice this week as the Pittsburgh Penguins took down the Philadelphia Flyers 7-1 at PPG Paints Arena on Tuesday night. The Pens controlled the game from puck drop, scoring 4 goals during just a 6-minute and 5-second time frame in the first period. Jake Gensel and Zach Ashton-Reese both scored in the second period to give Pittsburgh a comfortable 6-0 lead. According to ESPN, the lone Flyers' goal in the third period prevented Pittsburgh goalie Matt Murray from posting his second straight shutout of the season. ESPN stats say that Murray stopped 29 shots against the Flyers to win for the 6th time in his last 7 starts. The Pens will be back on the ice tomorrow to face the Oilers in Pittsburgh. That's it for sports. Let's send it to our not-so-scary hosts at the couch.
Thanks, Eminem. We're glad the Pittsburgh sports world isn't as blue as you are.
But speaking of the black and gold, here's your city news.
The Steel City is home to the steepest hill in the world. The Dirty Dozen bike race is a nationally recognized race to conquer it, along with a handful of other hills in the area. Daybreak reporter Nardos Haile got to witness the race firsthand.
Over hundreds of cyclists will participate in Pittsburgh's Dirty Dozen, an annual hill climbing bike race climbing through Pittsburgh's steepest hills.
36 years ago, professional Pittsburgh cyclist Danny Chu co-founded the Dirty Dozen.
I started the Dirty Dozen along with my brother Tom Chu and our friend Bob Gottlieb, those two are both riding today. Back in 1983, we wanted to showcase Pittsburgh's toughest and steepest hills in about a 50-mile bicycle ride that never really went more than 10 kilometers away from the center of the city.
Cyclists will face some difficulties at this 13-hill course. Some hills are steeper, longer, and more slippery than others. Riders like Angie Johnson, a Minnesota native, came to Pittsburgh's Dirty Dozen for a purpose.
My reason for riding today is to fundraise and advocate for MS. My dad passed away 7 years ago from MS. My theme this year is pedaling with purpose, so when I decided to do this and not knowing if I could climb all the hills, I decided to dedicate each hill to somebody affected by MS. So I have my list of people here on my top tube that when the climbing gets hard, I'll think of them and keep pedaling.
Canton Avenue is the steepest hill on the course and the entire United States. It's the 9th out of 13th hills on the Dirty Dozen course.
Canton Avenue has a maximum gradient of 37%, meaning for every 100 feet taken, there is a 37-foot elevation increase.
These hills all average about a 25% grade. Canton Avenue, the steepest hill in the world, is 37% and cobblestone. People like a challenge in their life. And these hills pose a real challenge.
Danny Chu started this race 30 years ago, and its legacy will annually inspire riders to face their biggest challenges. I'm Nardos Haile for Point News.
You may have seen it on the internet, or maybe you were there in person, but Pittsburgh has made its mark by becoming a meme. That's because a Port Authority bus fell into a sinkhole at Penn Avenue and 10th Street just before 8 a.m. and it took Pittsburgh Public Safety until later that night on Monday to get it out. The bus was stopped at a red light when the back of it sunk and the ground opened up. That's partly due to the fact that the heaviest part of the bus is in the back because of the engine. Nobody was seriously injured, and social media went wild at the image of the bus sticking out of the ground. The famous sinkhole bus has since been made into not just a meme, but even a Christmas ornament. Repairs to the street are underway, but the city of Pittsburgh announced that 10th Street between Penn and Liberty Avenues will be closed for 8 weeks. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh residents will forever see a Port Authority bus and say, "Hey, didn't I see you in the ground once?"
A Pittsburgh native playwright's place received a national grant. Daybreak reporter Kiara Fry has the details.
Duquesne University received a $500,000 federal grant to help restore the childhood home of famous American playwright August Wilson, right behind me in Pittsburgh's Hill District. The August Wilson House website says the recreation of these 2 rooms that Wilson's family lived in will be at the heart of the project. Other rooms in the house will be transformed into art studios, a gallery, and more.
August said in his latter life, he said, "When I die, you'll probably do something with that house. But if you do," he said, "I don't want it to be a museum. I want it to be something useful." Our vision for the house is that it is an art center for the Hill District.
The August Wilson House Restoration Project is one of 41 projects across 23 states that is being supported by the Save America's Treasures grants. A City of Pittsburgh press release says that the university will accept and administer the funds on behalf of the August Wilson House as a community partner.
Well, the legacy of August Wilson alone is very important to Pittsburgh and to the region and to the United States. He's one of the country's most celebrated authors. In addition, The Hill District, where August Wilson House is located, is a neighborhood directly adjacent to our campus and one in which we've been involved for a long time.
According to the website, part of the mission of the August Wilson House is to nurture the Hill District that August Wilson grew up in and wrote about.
We think ultimately this house, with what's going on in it, will help to kind of regenerate the neighborhood.
The August Wilson House project organizers plan to have the restoration of the August Wilson House completed by April 27, 2021 for August Wilson's birthday. Reporting from Pittsburgh's Hill District, I'm Kiara Fry.
Taylor, did you get to see the sinkhole?
No, I'm so mad. I was busy that day and I didn't get to go and see it. But
Neither
just
did I.
The reactions that everyone had on social media.
Oh, yeah.
People from my hometown were messaging me saying, hey, did you see the sinkhole bus? Hey, did you see the sinkhole bus?
It went international.
It did.
People in other countries were laughing at it.
Literally. And all the memes about it, comparing it to things. My favorite is the Titanic one.
I saw that, the movie poster one, right? Yes.
That was my favorite. It's at the same angle, the same exact angle.
Okay, my favorite meme with that is whenever they put the bus onto, I don't know what the
Phantom
roller coaster
Revenge.
was,
it
but it was
Revenge?
some roller coaster, and it was
Yeah.
hilarious. It's going down, ready to go.
It was so funny.
Some people said that, the ground was giving birth to a Pat bus.
Amazing. I love it so much. I wish I would have seen it.
But I'm glad that Pittsburgh got that little moment of fame for our incident.
It was a nice little start to the week, I will say.
Yeah. Moving on to a national scale, Alabama is backtracking on a previous abortion ban.
Daybreak reporter Alice in Wonderland has the details. Alice?
Thanks, Nick and Taylor. On Tuesday, October 29th, a federal judge blocked a near-total ban on abortion in Alabama, declaring that the law violates Supreme Court precedent. U.S. District Judge Myron Thompson issued a preliminary injunction barring the Human Life Protection Act, which was set to go into effect on November 15th. The decision comes in response to a lawsuit from Planned Parenthood and the American Civil Liberties Union. This would be the strictest of all the state abortion bans passed so far in 2019. The act, which was signed by Alabama Governor Kay Ivey, would make it a felony for a doctor in Alabama to perform an abortion in nearly all cases. This includes pregnancies resulting from rape and incest, except when it is necessary to save the mother's life. Ivey said, quote, "The legislation stands as a powerful testament to Alabama's deeply held belief that every life is precious and that every life is a sacred gift from God," end quote. In a 17-page opinion, Judge Myron Thompson wrote that, quote, "Banning abortion before viability violates Supreme Court precedent and violates the right of an individual to privacy to make choices central to personal dignity and autonomy," end quote. Thompson also said that a near-total ban on abortion imposes costs on women, leading them to take unsafe measures to end their pregnancies, and that it, quote, "diminishes the capacity of women to act in society and to make reproductive decisions, and it defies the United States Constitution," end quote. The Alabama law is one of several restrictive abortion bans states have passed in recent months. Lawsuits have also successfully prevented them from going into effect in Missouri, Arkansas, Kentucky, Ohio, and Utah. That's all for national news. Let's go back to our Halloweeny host at the couch.
Thanks, Alice.
When we come back, our tech reporter will be telling us all about what Twitter is no longer advertising. Stay tuned, Scaredy Cats.
What's one word to describe CAB?
Welcoming.
Community.
Creative.
Experiences.
Family. Openness.
Pineapple.
The Campus Activities Board is a student-run organization that consists of 7 different committees. Each focuses on event planning, marketing, and administrative activities. Join us in organizing the juiciest events on campus, from late-night bingo to festive dances to our team bonding meetings. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Point Park Cap, or like us on Facebook at Campus Activities Board at Point Park University.
Good evening and welcome to Newsnight. I'm Josh Troop alongside Jess Paterchak.
Defending his decision to kick out 15 Cuban diplomats from the United States. Thanks, Allison. Fitness on Demand has returned to Point Park.
Residents fear that Mount Agung will have a repeat of 1963's eruption.
2-star NFL quarterbacks made the headlines this week after wrapping up.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this evening. That's your news tonight. For Nick Tomarello, I'm Alex Grubbs. Have a great night.
Welcome back to Daybreak, guys and ghouls. According to Twitter, the verdict is in. Ariana Grande had the creepiest costume this Halloween season, and other people dressed as killer cannibal clowns. That just goes to show how unsettling it was for fans to see their favorite pop singer wearing a Twilight Zone-inspired costume where she made her face look like the face of a pig. Pictures can be found on Grande's Instagram of her in a classy high pony, silky black gloves, and the lower half of her face sporting some piggy prosthetics. And while Ariana Grande doesn't mind showing off her creativity on the gram, some stars, like Harry Styles, tend to shy away from the social media spotlight. However, fans did manage to find pictures of Harry's Halloween costume for this year. Standing at 6 feet tall, the Lights Up singer is not too short to be a stormtrooper, and he proved that by dressing up as one at a star-studded Halloween party that included guests like Harry's good friend and 6-time Grammy Award winner, Casey Musgraves. Casey also invited Harry up on stage with her at a recent performance so they could sing Space Cowboy and Still the One together, and fans went wild. Styles will be releasing his second album soon, and I wouldn't rule out the possibility of a collab between him and Musgraves. That's a wrap on entertainment. Now let's send it back to our hosts, Taylor and Nick, for a spooky little Halloween game.
Thank you, Pikachu. You're definitely our favorite Pokemon.
For our free segment today, we thought it'd be fun to have some frightful festivities. And what's more festive than a game? Today, we've got one called Finish the Phrase.
This game is pretty simple. We split into 2 teams, me and Jess, Taylor and Nick. One person on each team is a designated phrase giver, and their teammates is the phrase guesser. We have 1 minute to get through. We have 1 minute to get through 14 phrases, and whoever gets the most right wins. So let's go ahead and get started. We have our timer over there. We have our timer, and we're going to get started. Timer, could you let us know when we could start?
Who's going first? You guys or?
We're going at the same time, right? Or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, one at a time.
Okay. So, timer, are we ready? We can start
okay,
first.
We'll go first.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready. Big moment.
Okay. Spooky.
Scary?
Spooky. Like that time of year.
Spooky season?
Yes. Okay. Wicked.
Witch.
Jeepers.
Creepers.
Halloween.
Town?
Yes. Ghost. It's a movie.
Oh, God, I don't know. Can I pass?
Okay. Costume.
Party?
Yes. Ghost.
What?
It's like you read to people and they like. Okay, next.
Okay.
Headless.
Horseman.
Spider.
Man. Web.
Kit.
What?
Kit.
Cat?
Stranger.
Things.
Goose.
What is it? What is all these ghosts? What do you mean?
Goose.
Goose. Goose.
Goose.
Geese?
Goose.
Like a geese?
Goose. Like.
But as in geese.
Like goose. So like goose. Like. On your arm.
Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay. Haunted.
House.
Ah. Okay. So we have 14, right? You got.
Yeah, and I skipped 2.
2.
So count how many you have remaining. That might be
2.
better.
And I skipped 2.
So you got 10.
Yeah.
So you got 10.
There were 15.
15?
I got
13.
13.
You got 13.
Got 13.
Okay, we got 13.
Oh, we can
Good
beat
luck.
that.
Right.
So
hold on. If you skip 2, then you got 11.
It's It's
out
out
of 15.
of 15.
It's out of 15, but you had 2 remaining, and then you skipped 2.
So we have
11.
11. Hey.
This is why we're broadcasting. Anyway.
We're going to win. Are you ready,
I
Taylor?
already took my math
All right.
credit.
All right. And timers, start the clock. Pumpkin.
Patch.
Trick.
Treat.
Trick.
Trick or treat.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Monster.
Mash.
Milky.
Way.
Hocus.
Pocus.
Black.
Cat.
Meow. Candy.
Corn.
Stranger.
Things.
They had that. Stranger. Stranger.
Danger. Okay. You did that to Bree. That's so funny.
Grim.
Reaper.
Paranormal.
Activity.
Ooh. And Jack.
Oh, lantern.
Beetle.
Juice.
Halloween.
Town. Time. Costume.
Yes. Toil and
I don't know that one.
Boy, oh, Toyland.
I don't know that one.
Oh,
I think we
were
just took
close.
an L, Jess. No.
How many did we get?
We got, so there's total 15, right?
Yes.
So we had 13 right with 2 remaining.
13 right. So, okay. 13 right.
So we won.
Okay. Yeah.
We won.
11,
We
13.
got-
That's so funny. That's my birthday.
I'm
We
gonna
had,
go.
so it was
Yeah, I'll come with you.
Yeah.
Toil and Trouble.
I would have never
And then
gotten
the
that.
last one, which
You
we
don't know
didn't
Double
get
Double
to.
Toil and Trouble?
No.
The last one that we
sorry.
didn't get to was Scary Movie.
Which one
Okay.
did we miss? There was one.
Oh,
that,
there was like 3
oh,
that were ghosts.
Ghostbusters.
Oh,
That's
I would
what
never have
it
gotten
was. There was Ghostbusters and Ghost Stories.
So,
I think the highlight
that
was
was-
Goose.
so this weekend is Halloween. What are your plans?
So I just have plans to go out and hang with my friends. We don't know where exactly that we're going, but we'll find something, I'm sure. What about you guys? Any Halloween parties?
Yeah, I was gonna go to a Halloween party with my girlfriend, but she is busy. She's packing a show right now, so unfortunate.
So this weekend for me is kind of packed without Halloween stuff because I am doing stuff for the Point Park Sports Network.
Ooh, fun.
That's fun.
This weekend, so that's pretty jam-packed. Maybe I could try to do something on Sunday. Who knows?
I don't know. I don't have any plans per se, but hopefully maybe eat a lot of candy.
Oh, yes.
And, you know, if you do go to a party, make sure that you're safe
Yes.
and have a fun time. And
Stranger danger,
Stranger
folks.
danger.
Stranger danger! We want you to have fun, but also make sure you're safe and aware
Right.
of your surroundings, and just make sure that you're hanging out with the right crowd. My mom will be proud that I said that because she says it to me all the time.
Happy
All right.
Halloween, folks.
That's it for our Halloween game this year.
Happy Halloween. I'm Poppy with your timely tech news. Just last Wednesday, CEO Jack Dorsey announced Twitter's decision to pull political advertisements from the site. Dorsey declared Twitter's new move through a series of tweets. He said, quote, "A political message earns reach when people decide to follow an account or retweet. Paying for reach removes that decision, forcing highly optimized and targeted political messages on people. We believe this decision should not be compromised by money." End quote. He also mentioned the importance of this policy in maintaining credibility as a part of Twitter's commitment to halting the spread of misinformation. In his last tweet from the thread, Dorsey also defended his stance on free speech by clarifying that this policy is not an attack on free expression, but instead combats the practice of paying for reach. Following the statement, Twitter stock fell by almost 2% on the same day. However, this announcement also drew support from a few Democrats, including former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, House Antitrust Subcommittee Chairman David Cicilline, and House Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. According to Dorsey, the guidelines regarding this new policy are currently in progress. The public launch date for the final revised plan is set on November 15th of this year, just in time for Twitter to enforce this new policy beginning on November 22nd. That's a wrap on tech news. Let's make it mummy and wrap this episode back at the couch.
Thanks, Trish. Before we go, we'd like to share with you this week's Ray of Sunshine.
In case you don't know, Ray of Sunshine is our way of starting your day with a smile and an inspirational quote.
This week's quote is, "The bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot." That's by Michael Altshuler. That's so hard to say. Altshuler. That's it. I love this quote a lot. I really do.
It's cute.
I know that we kind of have this quotes that mean the same things over and over. Still all applicable.
Yeah.
But I think this one is really, really special because it, it tells you that you have your life in your control.
Right.
You don't have to live by other people's standards. You are your own person. You can make your own decisions, and you don't have to do anything that doesn't make you happy.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we get that confused. We always try to fall into somebody else's path, but
Right.
we create our own destiny or our journey. We don't have to look at somebody else's and think, oh, they got that, I want to do that, let me go through that route. You do it on your own.
No, exactly. Your life is your own, and you get to choose what you want to do and how it's done.
Right.
And I think the most important thing is that stay focused on what you want to do,
Yeah.
and don't let anything else try to bug you, get in your head with
Distract
that.
you, yeah. I agree. Well, that's all we've got for Daybreak this week. Thanks for watching.
You can catch clips from today's episode and all of our previous episodes on our Facebook at Daybreak on YouView.
And don't forget to check out the full episode and all of our episodes from UView on our website, uview.pointpark.edu. Tune in next week for the news you need. I'm Nick Tomarello.
I'm Brianna McCall.
And I'm Taylor Spirito, hoping your news is good news. Have a spooktacular Halloween, everyone.